Shay.
And I'm Hannah, and we're Dinner National.
Today, we're cooking Chinese food. Chinese food was one of the first foreign foods I ever tried growing up in India.
Growing up in the United States, I had a lot of Chinese food, but I didn't really understand what real Chinese food was until I went to Shanghai, or even Vancouver. The food varies from place to place.
So today, we are attempting to make some Cantonese food. I'm cooking Bao Zai Fan, which is like a clay pot rice, which can be cooked with a variety of different proteins. But today, we are using Chinese sausage and chicken.
And I'm going to be preparing the Gai Lan and oyster sauce, and we're going to have a nice egg drop soup as the appetizer, which is one of my favorite simple, easy recipes to make. So yeah, let's get started.
Okay, so step number 1, soak your rice. We are using jasmine rice over here, but you can use any other kind of rice if you don't have that. Step number 2 is soak your dried shiitake mushrooms. So these can soak for about 20 to 30 minutes, and that'll give us enough amount of time for the marination for the chicken. So the chicken could be of any kind, right? I mean, it could be like a bone-in chicken thigh or even like a whole chicken that you're using, but we have like chicken tenders right now. That's about a half kg, 500 grams. So I'm just gonna marinate this real quick. What I have over here is about 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Most recipes call for like light soy sauce, but then we don't have that. This is just our standard soy sauce. We've got some Shaoxing wine, also about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. And I have like about a tablespoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. So I'll give all of this a nice little mix. Make sure that all of our meat is covered in this nice marinade. This is actually a quick marinade. It does not go in the fridge overnight or anything like that, which makes this perfect for like a weeknight meal. So what I have here is some minced ginger, about 1 teaspoon. I just grated it with a grater, and some cornstarch. So once all of this stuff is mixed in, I'm gonna sprinkle around 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Evenly kind of disperse it, mix it well with your hand. And that's it, guys. That's your marinade. Okay, so our rice has been soaking for about 30 minutes, and this chicken has been marinating for about 20 minutes. So I guess we can get started with the rice. So like I said, I mean, we don't really have like a traditional Chinese clay pot, but we have this Dutch oven. It will still satisfy the objective that we're trying to achieve, which is essentially like a crust of browned, slightly burned, crispy rice at the bottom. And this kind of heavy pot is kind of mandatory to do that, because otherwise it wouldn't burn properly. Burning is a good thing over here. So what I'm gonna do is pour some oil in here and put this rice. This is the same rice that we soaked in water. We just tried to get some of the starch out. Once the rice goes in, I'm going to pour this 1.5 cups of mushroom water. You know how we have to soak the shiitake? This is just the water that we got from soaking the shiitake. It actually releases some shiitake flavor, so it makes the rice a little bit better than just plain old white rice. While the rice is coming up to a boil, I'm just gonna saute some Chinese sausage. So these are like 4 links. I believe it's called lap cheong. I'll just let this heat up for a little bit. As you can see, my sausages are browning a little bit and my water is boiling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down to a medium and then give this like a nice little stir. It's good to keep stirring it a little bit. These sausages look good. I'm just going to pull this out into a plate and use the same pan to fry up my mushrooms and my chicken. So I pulled the sausage out and I'm going to put the chicken tenders into the same pan. These don't really need to cook for a very long time, so I'm just going to give it a quick sear and then pull it out. I just flipped my chicken after about 2 minutes. Like I said, we're just trying to add like a little bit of color over here. And as you can see, most of the water has been evaporated. So I'm just going to cover it and turn it to the lowest setting and let it sit for another 10 minutes. My chicken is about halfway cooked. I'm just going to start pulling these things onto a plate. Look at that. Nice color. But it's not fully cooked again, but the idea is to cook it all the way with the rest of the stuff. So I'll just finish pulling these things off and use the same pan to fry the mushrooms. Mushrooms are going in. So these were about 15 mushrooms. What I did over here was cut the stems out because the stems can be a little bit tough. So I cut those out and just cut it into quarters. I'll just toss it around for like about 2 minutes, no longer than 2 minutes, and then I'll pull it out. Okay, so our mushrooms look a little bit toasty as well. I'm just gonna pull these things off, and what we're gonna do is arrange all of these things, the chicken, the sausage, and the mushrooms onto the rice and let it cook for another 15 to 20 minutes. The longer you cook, the crispier the bottom gets. So if you want it super crispy, keep it a little bit longer and resist the temptation to keep lifting the lid. See you in 15 minutes.
While the rice is cooking, I'm going to show you how to make the Gai Lan, which will be served on top of the rice. This is a pan that's heated over medium-high heat. It's actually the same pan that we used for the meat and the mushrooms. So we're just going to soften this. It shouldn't take too long. If you don't have Gai Lan, use something like bok choy or even broccoli. It really doesn't matter. So soften that a little bit and we'll add the rest of the ingredients. This is 3 crushed garlic cloves. You can mince it if you'd like, but it's not necessary. You just want the flavor of garlic to be in the pan. All right, we have about a teaspoon of soy sauce, and this is about a teaspoon of sugar. Might be a little more. This is gonna be a sweet and salty Gai Lan, and this is oyster sauce. The real star of the show. Well, not really. Okay, so kind of just coat all the leaves. You don't want this to be too wet, but you want it to be cooked through and thoroughly coated in the sauce. You want to know a secret? I don't think I've ever eaten this before, but I'm cooking it now. And once this looks to your liking, you can turn off the heat and pour over a little bit of toasted sesame oil, some flavor, and set it aside. It's egg drop soup time. So we're going to add some cornstarch to 4 cups of boiling chicken stock. I made a slurry with the cornstarch so that it wouldn't be clumpy. This is optional. I just wanted some color, so I added some frozen veggies. You don't have to do this. I just like a little veg. Here's some garlic. It's about a 1/4 teaspoon of grated garlic. This is a 1/2 teaspoon of grated ginger, and I'm gonna whisk this together for a little bit. It's almost time to put the egg in, and you can add your egg. This is 3 beaten eggs. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. And if you're like me, you're gonna make a large part of this sriracha once it's in your bowl, because I like it spicy. All right guys, let's eat.
So our rice has been in the pot for about 20 minutes now. Hannah just finished making the soup, and now is the moment of truth. I'm just gonna lift up the lid. That's what it looks like. The Gai Lan just goes on top along with all of the liquids in the pan. The liquids are the oyster sauce and the soy sauce, and these are the things that are actually flavoring our rice. So make sure that you get every drop. And now I'm gonna go give this entire thing a nice stir. Nice. Perfect. So our food is ready. I cannot even believe that the entire meal was ready in less than an hour and a half, beginning to finish. Very different from our ramen video that's coming up that took us 10 hours to make. Okay, so let's eat. I'm gonna get started with the egg drop soup first. This is one of my favorite simple soups to make. Though Hannah made it this time.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah.
So I added salt and pepper when you guys weren't looking. Just make sure to flavor it to your liking.
This is delicious. I'm actually gonna go for the Bao Zai Fan.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh wow, this is actually way better than I expected it to be.
He was concerned that this might be like too simple of a meal to make, but it's so worth it.
Simple does not mean worse.
No.
The chicken is also like super tender. I mean, it's like literally falling apart with my chopsticks.
And the Gai Lan is so flavorful, but the rice needs that, you know? It just soaks up all the flavor from that.
So we're gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of our meals. See you next week.